What is going on, people? If you didn't see my past video, the house not unboxing, but showing off of the actual set, go ahead and check that one out. But pretty much in that, I said I'm going to try to be doing a whole bunch of different videos that I haven't done before. I do a whole bunch of reviews, which I'll continue to do, but I'm going to try to do like different kind of videos, kind of throw flair into it. This idea did not come to me, if you could tell by the title. And actually, I saw a video by the Geek Legion of Doom. If you haven't seen his channel, check it out in the links. Check it out. It's really cool. I just watched the video. He did an A to Z of horror movies that you should check out. Did a little bit of a review for each, but they're probably lesser known movies that you should definitely check out. I'm going to go along the lines of that. I'm going to go pretty much all horror. If this video gets enough, recognition or people liked it, maybe I'll go to, just regular Blu Rays or whatever. But pretty much I'm going to stick to the horror section because I love horror movies that much more. And pretty much a lot of these are maybe movies people have never heard of before. That's what I'm going to kind of stick to. And some of them you might have heard of, and some you maybe have never heard of, or you've heard of and you didn't know to check them out or whatever. But pretty much what I'm going to do is just go through them quick. I'm going to do them now. I'm going to review each one just a little bit, not too crazy, because it'll take me forever. And as I'm speaking, it's taking me forever. So let me get into this now. So the movie I chose for A is All Through the House. We actually had this cast on the Dorkening, which I might mention many a times, the Dorkening in this. But All Through the House is pretty much a Christmas time movie where a crazy guy dresses up as Santa Claus and starts killing people. And his weapon of choice is garden shears. I'm pretty sure that's what you call them. So just think to yourself, what kind of craziness could garden shears be done, and how you can use them to kill people. And that's All Through the House. Definitely a really good one. Again, it's more, Christmas style one, but I could probably pop this in any time of the year and watch it, but it'll bring me to Christmas. But check this one out, All Through the House. B, I chose Bikini Girls on Ice. I definitely enjoyed this one a whole lot. Pretty much, it's a group of girls. They're trying to raise money. They're going to have a bikini car wash. I forget exactly what they're raising money for. I haven't seen it in a while. But pretty much, they end up going on a bus, going to the location that they want to do this bikini car wash, but their bus breaks down and they end up getting stuck at a gas station, and they meet a not so good guy, and all craziness goes through there. C, I chose Cub. This is a foreign film, so it's all in subtitles, but pretty much it's a group of campers that get brought to this area where there's a story of a wild boy. I guess you would call him a wild boy, I guess you want to call it. And the stories are crazy about him, and let's just say they run into him and craziness ensues. D, I chose The Drownsman. I have talked about this movie before, but I think more people should watch it. Pretty much what happens is a killer, his way of killing people, he ends up drowning his victims, and most of his victims are girls, until one flips the switch and ends up killing him. His spirit ends up trapped in the water, and he pretty much comes back and kills people that way. So that's The Drownsman. I'd say definitely go ahead, check this one out. Check all of them out, but some I'd say check out first and then go through. This one is Emily. I chose this for E. It's a babysitter, a crazy babysitter that kind of wreaks havoc on the children, and little known to the parents what is actually going on. This one, I never want to have a babysitter. I mean, I'm a little old for a babysitter now, but, definitely wouldn't want this babysitter. So that's Emily. Check that one out if you haven't. This one for F, I chose Funhouse Massacre. Pretty much, there's a group of psychopaths, I guess you want to call it, that are in an insane asylum. They end up breaking out, and in this town, they're well known, everybody knows about them, so they have this fun house where they pay tribute to these people. It's around Halloween, so they pay tribute to these guys with having little displays of each person. They break out, find out about this, end up killing the people who are supposed to play them, and as people come into this fun house, they end up getting killed and the craziness ensues. Definitely go ahead, check this one out. We also interviewed Andy Palmer, the director of this. Check it out, Funhouse Massacre, if you haven't. G, I really didn't have that many that, are lesser known, so the only one I really had that I wanted to talk about is The Green Inferno. Me, myself, I still haven't, to this day, haven't checked out Cannibal Holocaust or Cannibal Ferox. Yeah, I know. Boo me now. But I've never seen them, so this is like my first kind of intro into the whole cannibal horror movie. I was definitely impressed. It started out crazier than it finished. It started out crazy. I was like, wow, if this movie is as crazy as it started, then I'm in for a treat. But it kind of died down. But pretty much it's a group of people going into a tribe in, I believe it's Africa or somewhere, and they don't know that this tribe is a group of cannibals, and they end up getting attacked and eaten, per se. H, I chose Harvest Lake. This one isn't crazy horror. It's like an interesting intro into, it's like a sexual horror, if you want to call it that. I guess you want to call it that. It's a group of people. They end up going to a lake, just for the weekend. They want to just hang out. They want to have fun. And let's just say this lake has a very craziness around it. It brings out the sexual aspect of people. You have to watch it to actually understand what it is. So that's Harvest Lake. Definitely check that one out. I chose The Invoking. Pretty much it's a girl. She ends up going back to an old house that she did not remember she was there. Kind of blocked a whole bunch of bad memories out of her head. She ends up going back to this place, and the craziness comes back, and what happened to her comes back. Invoking. Check that one out. J, I decided to go with Jersey Shore Massacre. This is put out by JWoww Productions. Yes, pretty much the whole Jersey Shore craze from years ago. They made a movie pretty much about it. It's a group of pretty much Guidettes. They want to go to the Jersey Shore for a weekend. The place that they supposedly rented wasn't... Something got screwed up, so they end up not being able to get the place they rented. They went to an uncle's house, which is now in the bayous of New Jersey, which I didn't know was there. It's almost in the woods kind of deal. They try to have fun, but they don't know that there's something going on in these woods. K, I really didn't have that many, but I chose this one. Knock Knock. I don't know why I see this in the 788 bin. I definitely enjoyed this movie. Keanu Reeves has a family. He has a whole bunch of work, so they went on vacation, and he said, listen, go without me, just have fun. He's home alone. All of a sudden, the doorbell rings. Two girls end up at his house, and it pretty much becomes like a torture-type movie. Knock Knock, check that one out. This one took me a while to get it. I watched it on Netflix, and then I had to buy it because I really liked it, called Last Shift. Pretty much a girl gets hired as I guess she's a cop, and there's a new precinct getting built, but there's still one that's there, so they have someone watch this precinct at night just to make sure no one breaks in and takes stuff because they're not fully moved out yet. So she's there alone, and let's just say in this precinct certain things happened years and years and years ago, and let's just say it's haunted. So Last Shift, definitely, if you haven't checked this one out, check this one out. This one's really good. This one actually came in the horror pack. It's M, Motivational Growth. Pretty much this guy's down on his luck. He's pretty much the lowest of low. All he does is sit on his couch and mope and watch TV, and then the worst thing happens because his TV breaks, and now he's got really nothing to do, and all of a sudden he goes in the bathroom, tries to off himself, doesn't get the job done, wakes up, and there's a little spot of mold in the corner of the room, and it pretty much starts talking to him and kind of tries to not nurse him, but kind of brings some sanity to him, even though talking to a mold spot really isn't that much of sanity. Motivational growth. That one was pretty interesting. And I went with Night of the Living Dead. This is a horror comedy about zombies, pretty much. It's a girl, she ends up having bad luck with relationships. She went out one night, finds this guy, they do their thing, and through the night that they did not know, a zombie apocalypse happens. He's about to get married, so it's a horror comedy love story all up in one. Definitely go ahead, Night of the Living Dead. This one's another one that I got from Horror Pack. It's called Open Windows with Elijah Wood and Sasha Grey. Pretty much, it's a internet type, not torture. What am I looking for? Kind of crime drama. I'm looking for the right word for this. Pretty much, Elijah Wood wins a contest to meet Sasha Grey's character, and they're at a hotel and whatever, and all of a sudden he's on the internet and some guy comes on and says all this crazy stuff that he now has Sasha Grey hostage, and the only way that this could play out in Elijah Wood's favor is to do exactly what he says. So it's kind of like a not, again, it's not torture. The word's not coming to me. But pretty much, Elijah Wood has to do exactly what the guy says if he wants to keep Sasha Grey alive, kind of deal. The next one is called Pieces of Talent. This is a really good movie. We had the guy Joe Stauffer, director Christy Ray, everyone pretty much from this movie we had on. It's about a girl who befriends a man, David Long, befriends him after he gets beat up at her club kind of deal. She's pretty much at this place, this strip club, because she's looking to make money. She's trying to become an actress. Little do they know, this guy makes movies, but it's not the movies that she would want to star in. I don't want to go way too depth into it, and let's just say by the end of the movie, it's pure craziness. Check out Pieces of Talent if you haven't. Definitely, I'll leave a link to certain ones because most of them you can find on Amazon. Others you have to go to an actual website to get. Q, I went with The Quiet Ones. This is, a bigger title, I guess you want to call it. Pretty much it's a group of students that come together with a professor trying to fix a disturbed girl who they think is, just mentally disturbed. Little do they know, it might be a little bit more than that. Quiet Ones was alright. I really didn't have that many, so I went with Red Riding Hood, pretty much a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood, but updated, and it's with a werewolf instead of just a regular wolf and whatever. Really didn't have many R's, so I went with Red Riding Hood. I definitely did like this one. This one came out a while ago. S, I went with Some Kind of Hate. This one is about a young kid who gets bullied, and he pretty much rebels against everything. He ends up getting sent to a camp that's, for disturbed kids or bad kids, I guess you want to call it. Well, at this camp, little do they know, a girl was bullied and she ended up dying because she got bullied. She kind of buried herself or ran away, and no one could help her. So, as they're at this camp, he kind of ends up summoning this girl. Beknownst to him, they become kind of friends, and the craziness happens from there. Some Kind of Hate. I'd say definitely go ahead, check this one out if you haven't. With T, I went with Troll Hunter. This is another foreign film, so you got a bunch of subtitles on the bottom, but pretty much it's a group of troll hunters in, where is it? Norway. They end up hearing about these trolls, and it's pretty much like a documentary kind of deal, not shot like a documentary, but pretty much they're looking for these different trolls. By the end of the movie, I'm like, are we ever going to see anything? Let's just say by the end of the movie, stick with it, because this monsters in this look ridiculous. So, Troll Hunter. Volumes of Blood was another one from Horror Pack. Definitely check out Horror Pack if you haven't. A little cheap plug for them. But Volumes of Blood is a anthology. Pretty much they're all sitting at a group of kids. They're all sitting at a table in the library and pretty much kind of coming up with these stories about trying to one-up each other on stories, telling scary stories and whatever. Each one kind of takes a turn. And then by the end of the movie, it kind of brings it all together into a different type movie, all of its own. I'm not going to give it away because it is pretty cool. It's something I've never seen before. So that's Volumes of Blood. W, I went with Would You Rather. This movie pissed me off like you wouldn't believe, but it's one of those things where that's what most people want to see in a movie. Like, you want to get moved when you're watching a movie. You don't want to just watch it and be like, it's bland or whatever. But pretty much, Brittany Snow's character kind of is down on her luck. Her parents died. She's watching her brother by herself, and the therapist that she goes to tells her about this guy that brings people to the house and plays this game, and whoever wins this game ends up pretty much set for life. The guy kind of pays their way through life. After, what she doesn't know is when she gets to this thing, it isn't the type of game that she didn't know what to expect, but it definitely wasn't the game that she signed up for. So, Would You Rather, definitely go ahead, check that one out if you haven't. Why I went with You're Next. It's a kind of 80s throwback kind of deal where a family gets together. It's a long time coming. They haven't seen each other in a long time. They sit down to dinner, and while they're at dinner, another group of people end up coming to the house and kind of torturing them. And let's just say that the reason I like this movie a whole lot is the music in this is ridiculous. It's like the 80s synth come back, and really good plot line, and there's a very empowered female character in this. So, You're Next. And Z, I went with Zombievers. Pretty much, it tells you in the title, it's zombie beavers. So a group of kids end up going to a cabin for a retreat, not a retreat, but like a weekend, and little do they know that these beavers have gotten contaminated and now turned into zombies, and now we're attacking these people. And let's just say if you get bit, it's pretty funny. So, Zombievers, definitely go ahead, check that one out. So again, I did not have any movies for U or X, but pretty much I had one for every other one. Hopefully these are movies you've never heard of, and I kind of pushed you towards them. Or if you've heard of them and you didn't know if you wanted to watch them, maybe now my short little reviews kind of pushed you towards it. So like I said, I want to do a whole bunch of, kind of videos like this where it's different. I'm going to still do my movie reviews. I'm going to do my updates and stuff. But I'm going to look for different kind of tags, I guess you want to call it. Like this one was, again, A to Z Blu Ray tag, I guess you want to call it. So I went with horror. But I want to do a whole bunch of this. If there's any that you want me to review a little bit more, let me know in the comments. If there's certain ones that you would have put for certain letters, let me know. And if you want to see a different video of, kind of not horror, maybe like an A to Z, lesser known movies, like not mainstream, because most lesser known are more indie. But let me know if you want something other than horror. Let me know if there's any other videos you want to see me do. Maybe a Q&A or something that I haven't done since probably my channel first started. And hopefully you enjoyed this. So again, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It makes me feel welcomed and special, I guess you want to call it. If you want to know when my videos come out, hit that little bell or whatever, so you know when my videos come out. Let people know I'm out here. Let people know. I know a lot of people like horror, but they kind of are getting annoyed with the status quo of these recent. Some of the recent ones that came out have been good, but other ones, you get remakes or just the same stuff over and over, and you want new titles. That's what I kind of go for. I kind of help the indie scene a lot more, so definitely let people know I'm out here. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and I guess until next time. Well, actually, I'll leave as many links and as much stuff as I can in the not comments, but whatever you want to call it, the description. And yeah, I guess that's about it. So again, check out all my other stuff. I'll leave the links to all my other social medias. I got an Instagram where I show off my movies. I got a Facebook fan page. I got a Twitter. I'm part of the Dorkening, which I mentioned here a few times that some of you might not know what I was talking about. Check us out. We do interviews. And I guess until next time, I'll see you. If you found the review you just watched enlightening and you want more of them, go ahead, hit that subscribe button in the corner, and check out all the other reviews I have, such as Horror Pack reviews and Netflix and Chiller. If you want to check out all the other things I have, go ahead and check out my Instagram, where I show off the movies I have behind me. Or check out my Twitter, where I post all my videos and more. If you want to do that, go ahead, hit those buttons, and until next time, I'll see you.